I'm sorry if I'm late. My watch was not exact. So what should we talk about? Huh? What? What did we talk about? I've forgotten.
About the robots.
About?
The robots.
The robot.
We talk much more than that.
Sorry, let's stop at the point when you said that is there a way of learning which is not mechanical?
Is there a way of learning which is not mechanical, coming out of robots?
Are you interested in that? Not you old boys, but the older people. Because you'd agree with anything, wouldn't you? Huh? Yes. Are you interested in that? That you really want to find out a way of learning which is not, as we pointed out the other day, learning through books, learning through what other people say, learning through your own experience. Do you remember we talked about that? How the computer, as I told you, plays with the chess master. You know what chess master is?
Yes, yes.
Do you really know what chess master is? Yes? By Jove. And the chess master beats the computer first time, second time, and third time. But the fourth time, the computer beats the chess master. Because each time he's beaten, the computer is learning, experiencing where he made a mistake. And so, after each defeat, he's learning. So, on the fourth, computer beats the chess master. As I said, that's how our human minds work. First we experience, then from that experience learn and accumulate knowledge, then that knowledge is stored up in the brain as memory. And from that memory, thinking arises. Right? This was what we talked about. Do you understand so far what I've said? Huh? You're quite sure? That is, we accumulate knowledge in order to act in life, in order to have a job, in order to do anything. We must have knowledge. And we are conditioned or programmed to act this way, accumulate knowledge and act. Right? This is what you are going to do in your life. You are being educated here. Mathematics, geography, history, physics, and so on. You have learned a great deal, go to college, if you're lucky, university, get a degree, and get a job, if you're lucky. So what you have been educated into is to condition your mind in knowledge. right? Either your knowledge is mathematics or physics or biology and so on. That's clear, isn't it? Right? So we are accustomed, we have been trained to learn through experience, accumulate knowledge, and act. This is what you are doing now. In your daily studies, this is what you are doing. And you see what happens when the mind, your mind, has accumulated knowledge and is acting always within the area of knowledge. Have you understood that? Right? Have you? Yes? Always acting in the field of the known. Clear? Right, sir? A carpenter first is apprenticed to a master carpenter. He learns several years and then becomes a good carpenter. If you are going to become a doctor, you spend 10 years to study, then you become a good doctor. That's you learn, accumulate knowledge, and act. So you're always acting within the field of knowledge, right? Get this point? Is it clear? What do you say? Is this clear? So your mind becomes always repeating, mechanical. So we're asking the other day if there is another way of learning. Have you understood the question? Is there another way to learn without going through this whole process of accumulating knowledge, then acting? Right? You understood the question? Yes? Is it Sunday morning feeling, Monday morning feeling? Now, what I'm going to say may be difficult. So give a little attention to what I'm saying. We are saying that there is a way of learning which is not mechanical, which is not repetitive. When I drive a car, I must learn all about handling the car. It may take me 3 weeks, but during those 3 weeks, with the instructor beside me in the car, he teaches me what to do. He teaches me to look at the road 300 yards ahead, watch what is happening all around. When there are side roads, a car is coming. If a car is coming side road quickly, I have to slow down. He teaches me all this so that my brain gets used to driving. Right? Have you understood that? That is, through constant repetition, I learn. And that is embedded in the brain. And then the brain acts as memory and then thought, action. Now I'm going to show you a different way of learning. I wonder. Have you observed a bird on the flight? Huh? Have you? You have? What happens when you observe? When you see a bird, what happens as you are watching? Tell me.
That is only attention.
What?
The bird is only attention, sir. You don't think of anything else.
You're watching the bird, right? Are you interested in this? Are they capable, sir?
Some of them are.
Now, I won't go through that. I'll show you something else. We'll come to that presently. Are you afraid? Answer me. Would you kindly answer me? Huh?
Yes, sir.
You are afraid of what?
The future.
Huh?
Of the future.
Is that all? You are afraid of the teacher?
Future. He's afraid of the future.
Ah, future. Is the teacher your future?
In a way.
Do you see the joke, sir? No, you don't see it. You are afraid of the future. What might happen, right? Whether you'll get a job, whether you'll pass your examinations, whether you'll be scolded by your parents if you don't pass, and so on, so on, so on. That means what? Think it out, sir, as we pointed out the other day in our two talks. Let's think together. Don't let me tell you and then you accept or reject, but let's have a dialogue about it, talk about it. Shall we? You are afraid of the future. Why?
Because I don't know what it holds for me. I don't know what it has in store for me.
What will happen to you? Is that it?
Yes, he doesn't know what it has in store for him.
That's it. What is in store for you? What do you want the future to be?
A secure one.
Huh?
A secure one.
A security, right? If you are guaranteed that security, would you be frightened?
I don't think so, sir.
So who is going to guarantee it? Your government?
No, sir. I have to do it myself.
So how will you guarantee the future for yourself? Go and answer my question. How?
Sir, I don't agree that if my future was guaranteed for me, I would feel secure. Or I would be totally unafraid. Because there are other fears, not just the fear of the future.
That's what he said, that future. So there are other things of which we are frightened, right? So he is afraid of the future, right? What are you afraid of?
Well, I'm afraid that if I leave, I may sink into the rut, fit into a groove, become part of everything else, not try and do anything about it.
Right. So you are afraid to be caught in a groove, which is the social structure, marriage, family, quarrels, misery, all that. Is that what you're afraid? And tell me what else you are afraid of. Don't all sit there. Tell me. Good Lord. You mean?
Right now when I'm sitting here and listening to you, I don't think that I'm frightened now.
No, of course not.
But I feel that once I walk out of this auditorium and go into the classroom, I've got some work to finish. And if I don't finish that, I won't be in time for other periods, other classes. I'm frightened that if I don't finish that work, then I might not be able to attend other classes. So that is a sort of fear, but which is not at the present.
No, of course not. Which is the same thing, which is you're afraid of the future.
I'm not afraid now.
Of course not, old boy. Naturally, you're sitting there, perhaps bored, perhaps interested, but you're not naturally afraid now. But when you go to the class, and you're afraid of later on, right?
Sir, how do we know that what we are talking about now is not becoming another program? I mean, another,
He asks, what you are talking about doesn't also condition the mind, right?
I mean, how do we know it isn't?
I'm going to show you. First, we are investigating, right? Do you know what that word investigate means? To trace out, to follow one thing to its very end, right? That's what it means to investigate, to explore, to examine. Now we are examining what is fear, right? There is no conditioning the mind when you are examining. When you are critically questioning, skeptically exploring, there is no conditioning the mind, right?
I know, sir, but what all we've learned so far has been a program, has been a conditioning. So the question itself could be born out of that program.
Yes, sir, but look, you're not, if I may point out to you, you're not listening. I said we are examining, right? In examination, there can be no condition, right? That's all. Now we're examining fear. Not according to my examination, but together we're examining, right? Right, sirs? Have you understood so far? Right, sir.
Sir, excuse me, but why is there no conditioning in examining?
What?
Why did you say that when you examine, there is no conditioning?
What? When you accept, you understand? You accept according to your pleasure or pain, right? Right? Either you accept authority or reject authority. That rejection depends on your previous adherence to a particular stand, you understand? Or you go reject that. So you're always being conditioned in the pattern which you have lived, right? The pattern in which you have lived is your conditioning. But if you examine that conditioning, you are freeing the conditioning. You understood? I am conditioned, suppose, as a Catholic, right? You know what a Catholic is? I'm conditioned from childhood to believe various things, as a Catholic does. Now, if I begin to examine question, be skeptical. You follow? I am freeing the mind is freeing itself from its conditioning. Right?
Yes, sir, but again, the I itself is a conditioning. I mean, it's,
I know,
it's a program that
there is only examination, not I am examining.
I don't quite follow that. I mean, I'll give you an example of a computer. I mean, supposing a computer is playing with a grandmaster, he's playing chess, and there is a move that the grandmaster has made, and the computer is examining that move, you know, and there are, if you say together, I mean, there are 10,000 computers examining that single move. Maybe our question is just like that move, and we have so many computers examining that move.
No, sir. We are not, listen, sir, don't bring in computer for the moment. We are saying that we are conditioned to fear, right? You're clear? We are conditioned to fear. And in examining that, examination means investigating, looking, observing, questioning, not accepting. Right? Then that conditioning is exposed. Right? You following this?
Not very clearly, sir. I don't really know what you mean by examination.
Wait, I'll show you. Do you look at a flower?
Yes.
Do you examine it, observe it very closely, petal by petal, the color of it, the stems, the perfume, the variety of the color in the sun, out of the sun? Have you examined a flower like that? No? You haven't? No. That's what I mean by examining. Looking, smelling, seeing it very closely, in minute detail how a flower is. That's what I mean by examining. Right?
So, does it also mean by examining, you aren't being mechanical because you're discovering? Can it mean?
That's right. While you are examining, you are discovering. You got it?
Yes, sir. Okay, let's take looking at a flower, sir. Now, what comes to us from the flower are sensory impressions. And we, with our knowledge, sort of analyze it into smell, this.
No, that's not examining.
But I mean, if you say you can smell the flower.
No, listen, old boy. Look at it. When you look at a flower, what is happening? Tell me, if you ever looked at a flower.
I haven't really, not in the way that...
Then go and look at that flower out there. Not now. When you look at a flower closely, this is what I'm showing you something. If you kindly follow this, you will find a way of learning which is not mechanical. That's all I'm trying to point out. Look at a flower closely. Don't say I like or don't like, right? Don't say it's beautiful or not, just look. And the more you look at it, the greater the details are exposed, right? You get this? Huh? Do you understand this?
So, when you look at something with a great deal of attention, then you just look at it.
That's all. That's all.
But, sir, immediately after that, you...
Wait. You have learned something, which is when you are observing attentively a flower, right? There is only that flower, nothing else. That's all You understood that?
Yes, sir, but what happens when your knowledge takes over?
First, see what happens before knowledge takes over. Now, wait a minute. Have you ever played a game called association? Have you?
So we played it the last time we came.
Huh?
We played it the last time.
I'm going to play it again. Now, just listen. My Lord, these people don't know a thing. It's called a game of association. I mentioned rows. Listen to me carefully. Rows. Then what is the association you have with rows? Huh?
Flower.
Flower. All right, go on. What's the next? What?
Petals.
Petals. Go on. Move. Color.
Shape.
Now listen to me. Rose, thorn, pain, doctor, hospital, nurse. Now wait a minute. Nurse, hospital, pain, thorn, rose. Now watch it. That's how your thought moves from one thing to another. Have you understood this? Huh? Wait, sir. Wait. Have you understood this? How thought goes from one thing to another, which is association.
So when we look at anything, we are playing this game always and not looking at that, but always associating.
That's it. You've got it?
Yes.
Now, wait. If you rose, look at that rose. Don't immediately say thorn. You get it? I wonder if you understand all this. Have you understood this? No, I don't think you have. This is quite... When I say rose, somebody says thorn, somebody else pain, and so on. Now, if you say, without saying thorn, just remain with the flower, with the rose. You understand? Then you are examining the rose. No, this is too difficult for all of you.
So but we are so conditioned that the first thing that comes into our mind is all this, you playing this association.
What's that?
This association comes very quickly.
That is mechanical. You follow? If you stop the mechanical process, then you can observe the rose. I wonder if you're getting something I'm talking about. See how difficult this is? You haven't learned to think. You have learned to memorize. You have learned in your classes to repeat, which is not thinking. So we are together helping it to think. Right? So I asked you, of what are you afraid? You said future. You are not afraid now, but you are afraid of the future. What is the future? that you might not pass your exams, that you might not get your job, you might be scolded by your parents and remain poor, and so on. That's the future of which you are afraid. Now, what is fear? You understand the difference? You are afraid of the future, right? Right, are you listening? Then what is fear by itself? Is this true?
Are you saying that fear is always in relation to something?
Yes. Well, I want them to discuss with me.
So fear is that thought about something which causes you pain.
Look, you are afraid the roof might fall down, right? You are afraid of the snake. That means you are afraid of something. You get it? Huh? What?
You're afraid of something which you haven't come across to yet. But then fear is something which you've already come across.
I don't get it. What is it you're saying? Will you repeat?
Fear is something which you, when you're afraid, it's something which you haven't come across to yet. But fear is something that you haven't experienced, you have experienced.
So she means to say that you're afraid of something which is not yet happened, but fear is all the time in you. So there's difference.
That's what happened. So, I understand. Are you saying fear is always in you? Huh? Is that it?
Fear is, you've already experienced fear, but you
Got it. Look, let's be very simple. I am afraid of my parents who might scold me. Let's keep to that. I am afraid of the teacher, the educator who might say something to me. That is, I am afraid about something, right? You get that? Be clear. That is, I am afraid of the future. I am afraid what my parents might say to me. I am afraid of the teacher saying something, right? Now, is there fear without about something? Have you understood this? I am afraid of something, about something. But is there a fear apart from about or the future? This is too difficult.
No, I think some of them is getting it. May I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there fear? Fear is always related to something. You're afraid of the dark. You're afraid of the future. You're afraid of the teacher. Is there a fear
Which is not related.
which is not in relation to something? Can you think of a fear which is not in relation to something?
No, so fear is related to something.
No, have you understood this question?
Sir, the question is, can I think of a fear which is not in relation to something else?
Yes.
Now, when I say I think about a fear, immediately I relate fear to something, but can they, I don't think there is a possibility of fear being not related to something else.
Just think it out, sir. That is, my fear is in relation to something, right? Is there fear when there is no relationship to something?
There isn't
Huh?
any fear without any relationship to something.
What?
He says there is no fear without any relationship to something.
Come and sit down, tell me about it.
There can't be fear without it being related to anything else.
Do you know this?
I mean, according to me, it's that, sir.
What do you mean according to you?
Because whenever I had fear, it's always due to something. There's always a reason behind it.
That's right. Now, go on.
I've never had a fear without anything
So,
being related to it.
so it's all fear exists always in relationship to something.
Yes, sir.
Now, have you discovered that? Or are you just repeating it?
I think I've discovered it, sir.
Huh?
I've discovered it.
How have you discovered it?
It's such a whenever I had fear, it is always related to something.
That's right.
So I've never had fear which is not related to anything.
So you have found something.
Yes, sir.
So, what happens? When you have discovered, listen carefully. When you have discovered, it's always in relationship to something. And there is no fear when there is not related to something, right? What is the state of your mind that says that? Careful. You understand my question?
I don't exactly understand it, sir.
You
I
un-
don't quite understand it.
You don't quite understand it. What do you feel when you realize, when you understand, when you have discovered that fear only exists with regard due to something, right? What is the state of your mind? At that moment you have no fear, is there?
No, sir.
Huh?
Unless I think about something that
Therefore
I've
what?
done wrong or
Yeah,
something.
that means what? Think it out carefully. Take your time. Don't be nervous. Take all the morning.
That is till memory comes rushing by totally.
Huh?
Till memory comes rushing by. I mean, you haven't thought of anything about the past. Till then, you're totally kind of fearless.
So which means what? The moment,
The moment memory comes rushing
that's it. What does that mean? You see, careful, think.
by, associated with something.
You found out what he says?
Yes, sir.
The moment thought comes in, you're afraid. Right? Have you discovered that? It's a great thing to discover this. You understand? That thought operates about something. It's either pleasure or pain or fear. Huh? Got it? So you have discovered that thought, thinking about the future, causes fear. Right? Right, sir? Have you understood this? What do you say?
So, but when you think about something and when you associate it, then you are afraid. I understood that. But thought itself, it arises from your experiences which are stored up. So does it mean, I'm just asking you, does it mean that only because you store up your experiences that you are afraid?
Look, sitting here, I am not afraid of anything, right? But when I begin to think what might say, my teachers might say, then I'm thinking about the future, right? Is that clear? So thinking about the future brings fear. Is that clear? Be quite sure that's clear. then what will you do with your thinking? Have you understood? I am sitting here quietly, I'm not afraid. But thinking about what might happen will cause fear, right? And I discovered that. Then question is, what happens? Why should thought always operate?
Sir, I don't quite follow, sir. When you say you're not afraid, how do you know you're not afraid?
Now,
You think you're not afraid.
he said so.
No, I think what he said was that when memory floods in, there is fear. And also to suggested that when you think, fear comes in.
Of course.
So, should thought come in always? We are not saying there's no fear.
But when you say you're not afraid,
No, we are not saying
I never said that. You are saying that.
okay, if I say that I'm not afraid,
No. Be careful, sir. You use correct. While you are sitting in this room, in this hall, you're not afraid. He said so. You didn't listen. So you have discovered something, a very, very great thing if you go into it quietly. That thought brings fear about the future.
Sir, but even that fear of the future has been put in there by someone else.
Wait, sir, don't go off whether somebody else put it into you. This is a fact, right? So you are learning not from a book, not from somebody, you are learning by looking, by observing, by examining, right? You understand? Have you got it? Yes. Huh?
Supposing I didn't know what a snake was, and I look at it. And if I didn't know it was poisonous, I wouldn't fear it. If someone told me that it's poisonous, only then I would be afraid.
She's saying that when she sees a snake, somebody has told her it is poisonous, so she's afraid.
Now
If nobody told her, probably she wouldn't be afraid.
somebody, your fathers, your grandfathers, people have told you, be careful of the snake because it will kill, it will hurt you. So that is, you are conditioned by the parents, by the past, that cobra is a dangerous snake, right? Now, that's a natural self-protective reaction, isn't it? I wonder if you understand that. I see a cobra. I run away from it. Why? Careful, think it out. Carefully think it out. Step by step.
Because you know it's a cobra.
Yes.
And people have told you it's poisonous.
Yes.
And if you get bitten by it, I mean,
You might get killed.
or something serious may happen.
Yeah.
So you run away from it.
Yes.
You know it's something might
Now
happen.
wait, why? That is that not natural? Wait a minute, sir, wait a minute, let me finish with this chap. Isn't it natural and healthy to avoid a cobra?
So, but it's not natural until when some person tells you that it's poisonous.
No, just listen. My parents have told me, my grandmother, my so on, that cobra is a danger, right? I don't know it's a danger, but by looking at it, I'm already self-protective, right? Right?
Yes.
So it's natural to run away from a cobra. Whether somebody told me or not, I see this thing, I don't play with it. I see a tiger, I saw a tiger once, quite close. Nobody had to tell me that that's a dangerous animal. It was dangerous.
So, but someone would have told you
Wait,
before it's
watch it.
dangerous.
Listen carefully, old boy. I was in the mountains and I saw a tiger quite close. By the very look of it, the power of it, the extraordinary vitality of it, told me don't touch it. Right? Right? People might have told me tiger is dangerous. Right? But the very seeing of it is enough to avoid it. I wonder if you understand this.
So only seeing will help you to flee only if it looks ferocious or something. If it looks calm but yet dangerous.
Yes.
I don't think you'll flee from it.
Parachute, wait. That's the most unnatural thing. One has been trained to fall off from an airplane with a parachute, right? I'm afraid, naturally, but I get used to it. Right? Then I'm not afraid. What are you trying to tell me?
So I'm trying to tell you that when you see a tiger, it looks ferocious. And even you don't know it's dangerous or anything. By the looks of it, you'll run away.
Yeah.
But supposing it's calm, but yet dangerous.
By the look of it, you know it's dangerous, old boy.
So, when you see a tiger and you observe the tiger, the thoughts of what might happen do not come into your mind.
At that moment, there is nothing, there only danger.
But sir, like if you observe the tiger, the thoughts of what might happen won't come into your mind. And therefore there is no future. And so you don't feel frightened.
Of course. What are you all trying to tell me? What, sir? I am simply pointing out to you that thought says, my father will scold me, my teacher will scold me. So thought creates the future, and of that fear arises. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Yes.
Right? So how will you prevent thought arising? Above the future. Thought is necessary to drive a car, right? To write a letter, to learn a language, right? To learn physics. Thought is necessary. Now, thought is also creates fear about thinking about the future, right? Thought there is necessary. Thought is not necessary here, right? No, thought is necessary to drive a car, but I also see thought creates fear, right? So what am I to do? What is one to do? Think it out.
Sir, to prevent the thought from operating at that moment, you say at this moment, to prevent the thought of something else interfering between the dialogue we are having, I'm totally aware of the dialogue, that is, I'm totally listening to you, so there is no thought. That's one way of preventing the thought from coming to the mind.
Now, how will you, I understand that. I will not answer my question, carefully think it out. How will you prevent thought arising which might create fear? You understood my question?
Yes.
Now, answer it, examine it.
Sir, I think I look at it I mean, I won't think about it.
All right, how will you remain without thinking now?
So just listen to you, I mean, I don't think. So by getting absorbed in whatever you're doing and
He's saying by getting absorbed in what you're doing, and she's saying by looking at it but not thinking. And what Chetan is saying...
Careful, now that's not two statements. By looking, that is, looking at what I am doing now. Looking and being concerned in watching. Right? What does that mean? Go into it slowly.
so that all the energy I have is totally concentrated on that.
That, which means, therefore,
I don't
wait, when you are totally, with complete attention watching that, watching, thought doesn't arise. Right? Can you do it?
Very rarely, sir.
Huh?
Very rarely.
Very rare.
Very rarely. Why?
Because I don't really watch.
No, lady, I'm asking something. Why do you say rarely?
So because it requires a lot of energy, a tremendous amount of energy.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Now, have you found out for yourself why it happens sometimes?
Sometimes, I mean, your mind doesn't feel like thinking of other things. But sometimes your mind is very excited. It can't stay at one thing for too long.
I know that. I'm asking you why.
Because you occupy your mind with so many other things, sir.
What?
You occupy your mind with so many other things. You're not doing only one thing at a time, so you're thinking of many things.
Wow.
So you're not able
All
to...
right, you have said something. Careful, go slowly, go slowly. Your mind is occupied with so many things. Therefore, it's not capable of looking at something completely. Right?
Yes.
Have you found out why your mind is occupied with so many things?
Sir, it's because I don't wish it to be so, because I know how much energy I need. It's so tiring, so I just sort of keep doing other things.
You are not. Why is your mind occupied at all with other things? You're not. Listen, boy. You understand what I'm saying? You said, the girls just said, when you observe something very closely, attentively, there is no other thought but that, right? But thought comes in presently and makes a lot of noise, right? That is, your mind is being occupied all the time with something or other, right?
Yes, sir.
Why? Carefully think it out. Why is your mind occupied with something all the time?
So sometimes you know that there's something ahead of you, something nice. You think about that. On the other hand, there's something also awaiting you which will, do a little damage. You think of both at a time.
Yes.
So you're not able to concentrate on the present you're going to get or the fear that you have.
Yes. It's occupied.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you why. You're not thinking, all of you. Just,
So your question was, why is the mind occupied all the time?
yes.
So,
Sir, look.
yeah, I thought about it now,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you that because we are not doing, that is, because I'm not listening That's why it is occupied.
No. Your mind occupied most of the time, isn't it? With something or other. Huh?
Sometimes it is not.
Of course, sometimes, rarely it's not. But I'm asking, why is it occupied? You understand my question? Yes. Answer me. When it's not occupied, what happens?
You're able to concentrate fully.
No, what happens? Look, I'm occupied with the kitchen, I'm occupied with writing, I'm occupied with talking, I'm occupied with, you follow? So many things, right? And if I don't occupy myself, what happens?
I mean, the other things are neglected.
No, boy, what happens to my mind? My mind is unoccupied, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Am I not frightened of not being occupied with something?
So I feel insecure.
Huh?
I feel insecure.
When he's not occupied, he feels insecure.
That's it. When it is not occupied, you feel insecure. So, they go next step. God. What's the next step? Why does it feel insecure?
Because I'm so used to having something always occupying my mind.
Yes,
that I would feel
which means what? So go on, you've said that. You have said, if my mind is not occupied, the mind feels insecure, right? So what does it mean? Through some occupation, you've tried to find security.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
What's the next step? You see, you're not used to it.
I don't understand because my mind is, I don't feel insecure when my mind is not occupied with something.
Have you experienced or know when your mind is not occupied?
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Yeah, just sometimes.
And don't say sometimes. It's a
Yes, sir.
Do you know what you're saying? Wait. Do you know, wait, milady, do you know when you are happy? Huh? Or you only know that you have been happy?
No, I know that I am happy.
No,
Sir, no, I don't agree. I mean,
I don't agree. Have a dialogue about it. I'm not asking you to agree with me.
but I only know, I know that I am happy only after it has already happened.
I'm asking this, that's quite right, but I'm asking her, can I say I'm happy now? Or it's gone already?
It's gone. So most of the time it is already gone and then I know. But just sometimes it happens that
I know sometimes it happens. You keep on repeating sometimes. Forget the word sometimes.
but I don't.
That's all I'm saying. I think we better stop, don't you? Have your minds been stretched a little? Well, I see you can't, right? Is that enough for this morning? Right. Shall we sit quietly for a few minutes? Sit absolutely quiet, comfortably. Sit quietly.